Hey, Still Hearts, how y'all doing? This is Jada Lynn. Welcome to In the Raw. This is a channel where we sit and discuss narcissism, what it sounds like, what it looks like, and what it is up close and personal in your face. All right, now, I guess this is custody battle part 3 of, and this is mainly geared to like certain things that you will experience during the custody battle, the attacks that you could experience or endure from the narc and possibly their family as well, or anybody who supports the narc. But I did receive a notice, a letter in the mail of child abuse / child neglect. And someone on the outside assured me that it could have been a protocol, but I just didn't feel it to be. It could have been, but I don't know. For the simple fact that I know that the overt was so manipulative and he just lied and twisted everything around and just made up brand new lies out of nowhere. I felt like what he said could have made this letter come about. I was very disturbed. I was very mentally distraught because my daughter means the world to me, as I'm sure your children or your child mean the world to you. And for somebody to slander and make up false lies and about things that are not true that has to do with your child or anybody in your family for that matter. Like I said, it could have very well been protocol, but I'm just not sure. Maybe you guys who know better than me can put this in the comments, down below and let me know, is this actually protocol? Do they do this with every person? Because I was wondering, did he receive a letter that way? You know what I mean? Or did I just receive the letter that way because I was the one going after custody for my child? No one ever did, but I just received the letter. The next thing that I noticed is that the phone calls increased at work. During the breakup, during the custody battle, the phone calls did increase. It was callings just to try to get me fired, just calling back to back, harassing me, sending me nasty text messages. In fact, all of these things I did document, so I strongly advise you to document. The phone calls did increase. There were times where I had to take the phone off the hook because he was calling so much. And then he would go from leaving threatening messages to leaving self-harming messages like, oh, keep driving me to kill myself, or, things like that. But then after a little while, then he'll start leaving text messages telling me that you'll never get a chance to speak to your daughter again, ever. So don't think that you're gonna, things like that. They don't think that you're gonna win custody of her because you'll never see her. I made sure that I had documented all of that stuff. I took pictures of everything. So that's just what it was. He wasn't showing up for hearings, which it looks good on your favor if the other person doesn't show up, because it looks like they don't care enough about their kid to show up for a custody hearing or, custody date, things like that. So that was another thing. He used his mother a lot, which was the child's grandmother. So he used the mother a lot to push his agenda. During the custody battle, when it came down to picking her up and things like that, whenever he allowed me to, because I still had to follow rules. I was told that I had to lay low, follow rules, do it the right way. It all will work out in the end. Reluctantly, I had to do things that I did not want to do, and that was one of them. But picking up my child, trying to go see her and things like that, he used his mother to come to my car and tell me that I had to get out of my car come in the house and get her dressed. No, not if the father is sitting there doing absolutely nothing all day. By the time I get there to come and see my daughter, she should already have been dressed. But at this point, she was yelling in my face, "You need to get your lazy ass up and come and get your child." And I'm looking at her like, are you kidding me? You need to be telling these words to your son. And I was really confused because everything was backwards. It was like, wow, if I was doing this, I can understand you feeling the way that you feel. You know, if I was on, where the son is, your son. If I was your son, I could understand you speaking to me in this manner. But I am the hardworking parent. I am the one that takes care of all of the bills. And because I'm leaving and I got tired of the BS, you're yelling at me and telling me to come inside of this daunting house to come and get my daughter dressed when she should have already been dressed, and he knew that I was on my way as well. I'm sorry, but that's not going to fly with me. It just wasn't. So be prepared to have the narc use his family against you, because that's exactly what happened. And they will go hard in the paint to push the narcissist's agenda. I mean, foaming out the mouth, they will go hard in the paint to support the narcissist. So you just please be aware of that. They brainwashed my daughter. During the custody battle, they brainwashed my daughter, and my daughter came to me one time and was asking me, what does a surrogate mother mean? And I was, confused. I was a little bewildered by the question because it was an odd question, and she was very young at the time to be asking, what is a surrogate mother? And so, but whatever, she was asking me a question, and I told her a surrogate mother is someone who carries a baby for another woman or a couple who is not able to bear children, just to help them out. And so she said, Papi told me that that's what you are. And I was like everything in me became hot and boiling. I was also flushed with pain. I was hurt because I go over and beyond for my kid. Anybody who knows that about me knows that I go above and beyond for my daughter. And to hear things like that, it really hurt me. And when I spoke to my pops, and I know I told y'all in the last video that my pops is one of the ones that really got me through this, because he just kept telling me, eye the tiger, you know what I'm saying? And just, you got this, because nobody is fighting for the little girl. The father pretty much doesn't want her. He's just putting you through this because he wants to attack you, but it has nothing to do with her. So these are the things that my pops was bringing to my attention. Needless to say, I didn't even realize at the time that he had, what my mother had put him through, because me going through all of this opened up a big story about what my mother had done to him. And that's when I started putting things together and started like, what? Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is a generational curse. Like, it has to be broken for real. It's like, it just keeps going and going. Somebody got to break this. So yeah, that's just what it was. So I had to keep my composure, because my pops was explaining to me how they're going to say things to get under your skin. At the end of the day, they are just trying to get you to act out. And the worst place you want to act out is in court. You hear what I mean? So that's just what it was. Oh, and I did want to say that when we went into the courtroom one time, the overt was talking so loud. Like, we was in, like, the lobby room was filled out, and he was sitting on the outside of the lobby with a couple of other people, and he was just talking, just running his mouth and everything, as if he just knew these people. But he was talking like he was trying to impress them. He was talking about that he spent $800 on his phone. But when I heard that, when we were, not the custody, but the child support, he was telling the lady how, the judge, oh, I don't have no money for this, I don't have no money for that, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. But I just heard you out there talking about that you just spent $800 on a new phone for you. Oh no, I'm sorry, baby, but I ran my mouth. I said, excuse me, judge, excuse me. And she said yes, and I said, I'm so sorry, but he's sitting here talking about how much he don't have to give, which is pretty much to give to his daughter. But he was just explaining to them people out there, the people who he don't even know, that he spent $800 on this brand new phone. So I just thought I'd just let you know that. And boy, oh, one thing the narcissist does not like is when they cannot control you anymore. And when he did not see that coming, it threw him off. He was so pissed. And I just sat there and I was cool, I was calm, and I was collected, but I had some conviction in my voice. I had conviction as if, I'm not scared of you anymore. You don't intimidate me. I control this. That's what I had. That's the type of attitude I had. The only attitude that I had in there. That's what he was seeing. But there was no attitude towards the judge. There was no attitude towards anybody else. It was just, you saw a more centered, a more grounded individual. And that's just what it was for me. So I'm encouraging y'all to be the same way, okay? I know y'all can do it. I know it is rough. And one of the hardest things is to try to remove your emotions from something that means a lot to you or that means so much to you. It is not easy. I know it's not, but I know you can do it. I am living proof. Listen, I went through so much stuff with family members and relationships with this narcissism stuff. I went through a lot and I overcame it, and it made me so much stronger. I know y'all can do this, okay? You my still hearts. Come on now. Come on now. Let's get it.